This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis, Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett, Williamson, Hannah Green, Noralia, Geof, Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin, Ishara, Ashlee Bradley, Laura Lewis, Helena Jacobsen, and Matthew Mendoza. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Alec Cook to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, truly appreciate it. In this episode, we're talking about Chapter 29 of Towers of Midnight.
Yeah, Chapter 29 is a terrible feeling.
What is this feeling?
Whoa. No, so no wicked. No wicked. You've watched so much of it. Repeatedly. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I get it, but there's other things to talk about tonight.
Loathing? No? Okay.
Well, I mean, there might be some of that too.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know what? This terrible feeling is not sudden, and it's not new. It's been going on. Like, doesn't everybody always have terrible feelings all the time?
Generally, but they're like different, you know?
Different terrible feeling.
Different types of terribleness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have something to share.
Yeah.
Because we got a package.
Yes.
And not only did we get a package, but I have a story time that goes along with this package.
Oh my, okay.
So first of all, I shared on our Discord that Canada Post is on strike currently.
Yes.
And it's been going on for a while. And that means that probably some of our stuff that we sent to new patrons hasn't made it to them because I just put my stuff in the regular mail.
Yeah.
And I didn't know there was going to be a strike. So, like, that's a whole thing.
Yep.
Plus, if people are trying to send us stuff.
It's lost in limbo land.
And it's going through Canada Post, then exactly. It's hopefully on its way to us at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that message on Discord prompted Nikki to message me and say, I sent you something through UPS. However, you have a P.O. box, and apparently UPS doesn't deliver to P.O. boxes.
Okay.
Because that's a Canada Post thing.
I guess so. Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so that's a nice PSA for anybody who's trying to send us stuff through that. So she was like, they need an alternative address. And I was like, okay, no problem. I'm on it. So she gave me the tracking number and everything I needed. And then I was able to contact them, got them an alternative address, and then we were waiting for the package. But when I went on to find the tracking number, this package has been through so many places.
Oh my goodness. A trip around the world.
A trip all around. Started in Michigan, went to Ohio, a couple places in Ohio, went to Illinois, then to Minnesota, and a few places in Minnesota, and then it went on the ground across the Pembina Bridge to Winnipeg.
Okay.
So this package arrived in Canada in Winnipeg.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is cool. Then from Winnipeg, it arrived in Edmonton. However, they couldn't deliver it. And then there's an entire, 4 pages of we can't deliver this. We can't deliver this. We can't deliver. Processing. Out for delivery. We can't deliver this. And so it's and then so finally, 3 weeks later, we got it.
It's here now.
It's here.
Okay, tell people what it is now. Because that was a long story.
It was a long story. I just thought it was so funny that it went through so many places.
Yeah.
But I guess that's how that works.
It's an adventure.
It is an adventure.
Okay, what is it?
A lovely gift.
Okay.
It is a wooden sign that says, "Not today, Shaitan."
Nice.
And we also got a lovely ornament that I'm not going to put on the Christmas tree. I'm going to hang up over here on our shelf.
The children will break it, as is tradition.
Yeah, and it's from Lucky Arrow Designs on Etsy.
I love it.
Yeah, with a lovely engraving.
Yeah, it says, Dani and Brett, thank you. May you always find water and shade.
So
Nikki.
nice. Yeah. And then our ornament is the wheel and snake symbol. I love it.
That's fantastic.
So
Thank
nice.
you.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
What an adventure.
It's up on the wall.
It will be soon.
It will be soon. It'll go up on the shelves.
Yeah. Okay. I hijacked your fun fact with my story time.
Yeah, okay. Now, this is the fun fact, and I felt like this was a good time to talk all about Aludra. It's her time to shine. This chapter. Yeah.
Not about hoisting beds?
No.
You didn't want to talk about police systems?
No, it's
and
just,
how
just
realistic
people
that
just
is?
lift her up. She's not that big. Come on. It's just like a
the
makeshift
bed is.
bed. It's not I don't think it's the whole royal bed. I don't think it's
she said it is.
I'm just there's a travel version maybe.
I doubt it.
Okay.
No.
They're very strong, very strong soldiers. best of the best.
Uh-huh.
That's okay.
I was
Anyways,
very incredulous, but I'll talk about that later.
it's about Aludra, and I never ever remember her last name. I think we've maybe seen it one time.
Is it fireworks?
Close.
Aludra fireworks?
Nendenhald.
No, okay.
Yeah. So it's just not one of those things.
I just assume like Illuminator.
Yeah, you don't really talk about
No.
it. But anyways, apparently there's some real-world inspiration for her name. So with a little help from the What Origins book, I did a little bit of research here too. So Aludra comes from the Arabic word meaning the virgin. We'll get to that.
Huh, okay.
Okay, and you're like, does that really make sense? I don't know. Not really in my mind. But for the next part of her name, the last name Nendenhald comes from the name Thomas Mendenhall. That's what it's derived from. So that was an officer on a ship in 1776 named Nancy. And there's a whole story about this because he was ordered to create an American flag that was raised up the mast for the ship in place of the British one when they were at a port at St. Thomas, which is one of the Virgin Islands in the Caribbean. Now, it was the first time an American flag was ever flown in a foreign port, because this was 1776, long time ago. And a few weeks later, the Nancy, the ship, was hauling gunpowder and weapons, and it was chased by British warships, and then it was run aground at Turtle Gut Inlet, which is near Delaware Bay. I don't know where that is, but that's where it was near. So the Americans were able to remove 265 out of 286 kegs of gunpowder. So they took it out of the ship, but then they left a bunch of them in there. They improvised a long fuse for the rest of the ship's like the sail, and they made a fuse to the ship. And then they took the American flag down, and the British forces took them taking the flag down as a sign that they were like surrendering and giving up.
Oh no.
So they ran off the ship, and the British troops ran onto the ship, and then kaboom.
No.
Yeah. So Aludra fireworks.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, it's a whole story.
That's like a mat heist.
Yes, it seems like that. So there you go. Aludra fireworks, that's where her name comes from.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, the Virgin part kind of comes in because it was the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Sure. It's good.
Fact now.
It's a lot better than some things that I've said.
You know what? I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into chapter 29, A Terrible Feeling. And the chapter symbol's the wheel and snake.
Yes.
Very fitting for our new wood ornament here. But we're going to enter in a Fail perspective. And what's really cool about this chapter, I think, is that we're going to get lots of perspectives.
Yeah, we do. But you know what we
don't get? It
makes
it really exciting.
We don't get Perrin right after Fail.
We don't.
We just get Fail. So
yeah, I don't know. I feel like that stopped.
I mean,
as of late,
they talked about Perrin in the next perspective.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right because we did get Fail, and then immediately we had Perrin.
So was that more of an RJ thing though? Like maybe that
no,
was...
but that was last episode.
Yeah,
that was last chapter.
That's true too.
It was Fail and then immediately Perrin.
Okay.
Not this time. There's like one in between.
Right. Okay. Here we go.
Whoa, shaking things up.
I know.
All right, so Fail is walking through camp with Berylane and Alejandra, and they're having girl time.
A little bit, yeah.
They're just having a walk and talk.
Mm-hmm. And girl time means talking about Perrin, trying to figure out what the hell he's doing.
And also, should we go talk to Galad more?
Oh my goodness, Berlane's got such a good idea. Okay, hold on. I have a great idea. I'm going to go and talk to Galad, and I'm going to ask...
No. The White Cloaks. We should go have another meeting with the White Cloaks.
Yeah, and then she can ask for, like, a special permission to just, like, not have this battle.
Mm-hmm.
She'll ask a favor.
I'll totally talk to Galad personally, and he'll do me a favor.
He'll do
me a solid.
Honestly, he would.
Maybe.
I feel like he would.
I don't think so.
Okay, like, hypothetically.
No, he
it
wouldn't.
doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Berlane goes in,
yeah,
boobs out and everything, and is like, Galad, do me a solid.
No.
And don't.
He would not.
Oh, really?
It goes against everything.
Could barely think when she first came on the
Yeah,
scene
that's
here.
hilarious. However.
Yeah. You don't think so?
No.
His white cloak purity would keep him...
Not just White Cloak, just Galad's brain.
Yeah, okay.
His black and white brain would be like, oh,
right.
I'm so torn, but I have to do what's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I hope someone disagrees with you.
I know. I don't think so, though.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Galad later.
Yeah, it's also
and
funny.
His hard stances.
Yes. it's also funny because this is not the first time Berlane's suggested this.
Yeah,
She's been pushing
and
pretty
Bale's
hard.
Like, why do you want to go talk to the White Cloaks? It's a bad idea.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Okay.
But before we talk more about Galad, we have to talk about some update that the gateways are still not working.
Yeah, so we do get some numbers. So they had previously sent about 10,000 people to like the outskirts of Kyrian and said, hey, don't say anything to anyone about anything and like where we were, because they want to keep Perrin's location secret, obviously.
Yeah.
But now that the gateways aren't working, we're not telling people that gateways aren't working. We're just saying we want to keep the Ashleman rested, so we're not making gateways.
Yeah, so if you want to leave now, you got to go on foot.
Exactly. So some people are, but they're still gaining a lot more followers. And the White Cloaks are also gaining followers, but not nearly as fast. But a lot of that has to do with, like, if you don't have food, you join the military because they probably have more food than you do, which is none. Mm-hmm. So they do kind of talk about that. ToM currently is training like 25,000 refugees to fight.
Of course he is.
There's a ton of people. That's good.
Good for ToM.
Yeah. Okay. Now we can get back to Glad. That's the important part.
Because Alejandro's like, that man is so good looking.
Yes.
How good looking is he?
She'd heard he was good looking, but wow.
And then Berline's like, I'll tell you how good looking.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you got to say it.
Oh my God. He is like a statue carved from marble.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's something from the Age of Legends. This is how I imagine her talking about Galad.
He's perfect.
He is just so perfect.
He is meant to be worshipped.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, Berlin, like, calm down.
Yeah, and then
calm down, buddy.
Fael's like, not enough facial hair for me.
Yeah, but I love it because then she compares, like, oh, well, you know, you can't compare a stained glass window to a cabinet.
No, a very well crafted cabinet.
I get that you said a cabinet made by like a master carpenter, but it's still, you're comparing a stained glass window to a cabinet. And which one's Perrin? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Which one's Galad? Which one's Perrin? I don't know. Yeah. Jeez. Anyways, let's get back to the more important thing because we got to talk about Morgaze now.
They're all mad about Morgaze.
Well, no, they're not all. Berylane gets it. Berylane is on Morgaze's side. She's like, yeah, why would she say it?
But because Berylane wasn't there. I feel like
Fael
you know and Alejandra feel trauma bonded to Morgaze.
And Morgaze didn't get in on that. Yeah.
And they feel like trust has been broken.
A little bit, yeah.
Because they went through this thing together and didn't know who she really was.
Yeah, so like they all went through it, but not completely together.
I could see Berylane being like, nah, I totally get. Same with Perrin, who was like, I get it.
And it's kind of interesting, especially I can see that there is a bit of betrayal there because it's not like Morgaze was the only queen in that group. They're literally all nobles.
Yes.
Like it's Alejandra and Fael, like queens, basically.
Yeah.
And Morgaze was also a queen. Like, yes, she is
and
the queen.
And when Fael thinks about it rationally, like the things that Perrin said about how she was hiding from a Forsaken.
Yeah.
She didn't know if she could trust us. Like there was lots going on. And then maybe she got in too deep with this lie. Who's to say? But I just think it's interesting that Fael's like outwardly being like, yeah, that bitch. And then she's like, she had a point.
Yeah. I kind of see both sides of it. Like I do get where everybody's coming from on all sides of that. So and then I'm just going to step away.
Yeah.
I'm going to step away from that.
And I can feel for them in this situation. Like I'd be hurt too.
Like I get it. I get why you're hurt and I get why Morgaze didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
Two things can be true at once.
Two things. Okay.
Did you know?
I don't like it, but yeah, it's okay.
Two things can be true at once.
But suddenly a bubble of evil.
You know what? Good old-fashioned.
Yeah, you need a little action sequence.
Nothing like a good weapons coming alive trying to kill
people.
We've
been there before.
Yeah, the last time it was like super boring and it was like pots and kettles and stuff.
Well, Perrin's axe attacked him.
No, that one was good. That was like the OG.
Yeah.
But then in the Saladar camp, it was like sheets.
The sheets are killing me.
Sheets and the...
Oh, you should make fun. I'm pretty sure people died.
Yeah, and the fictional people. But so...
Well, you know, okay.
Like kettles and like pots and pans and stuff.
But like cast iron, and you know that those are heavy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know. Mistress Luhan, Trolloc Slayer, with her...
Hey, there's a reason why.
Frying pan.
Hers is the frying pan. Yeah. If you don't get that joke, you got to go to Patreon. Yeah, there's a joke there. It was relevant from like the very first book. I loved it. Yeah. That's why we did it. Yeah, okay. Anyways.
But no, good old fashioned.
Yes. Weapons coming alive. Yeah. Luckily, Fael was like, I only had one knife on me. But there's a bunch whipping around now. So it's pretty action sequence oriented. But...
No, I was like, oh no.
Yeah. She saves good on Fael for saving Berylane. She's like, I hate her, but I still saved her, so that's good.
Yeah, and there are maidens there. We didn't talk about that.
Yes, because File's also still traumatized from being kidnapped.
Yes.
So she was already on high alert about something happening, and then when the bubble evil hit,
Wait,
she's like, whoa.
hold on. Did Fail learn from a previous mistake?
A little bit, because now she's accepting guards.
Yes.
More so than previously. She's
Right.
not as annoyed by it.
She's not running out into the forest completely on her own.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know. I think she deserves some credit for that.
Anyways, they got to do the 5 Ds of
Dip,
dodging.
Dive, duck, dodge, and dodge. Dive.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Yeah. They do.
Yeah, they
But
really have to.
Sulin is here, and she's like grabbing knives out of the air.
Yeah, they do the thing where she slams it in the earth, and they find out that it's like, I throw dirt at it.
Yeah,
And...
but even the spears on her back
Yeah.
are attacking.
Yeah, it's all coming alive.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good. And then they
It's
start.
actually bad, but
Well, it's bad. It's a good sequence. They throw dirt, defeats the weapons.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, tell everyone else, and then the scene
right.
ends.
And then what you were talking about, Barrelane was struggling with her own knife,
Yeah.
trying to kill her, and then Fail goes and goes like hand over hand, like they fight that knife together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. And we'll come back to it when we get back to the parent perspective.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So yeah, that's the end of that perspective because they've thrown dirt at all of the
And
knives
they won.
and swords.
They win. They
and
did it.
they defeat the bubble.
Of evil.
Yeah.
You get it.
Okay, perspective change.
Mm.
And this is a good one because I like Morgaze very much.
Yeah, but also trying to reason with Galad when he's made up his mind is like super frustrating.
Oh,
Because
man.
Morgaze has amazing points over and over again, and then he's just got like the compartmentalization of his thoughts. And when she challenges him, he's like, let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
It's like, that's annoying.
And I also really relate to her thoughts on motherhood. She's like, have I failed this kid?
Yeah.
Should I have done this differently?
And it's like,
yeah.
there were signs.
Yeah.
There were signs of that.
Yeah. Okay, so Morgaze is with Galad in the White Cloak camp, and
Yeah.
they're having a conversation. She's in the middle of telling him that he's not at fault for what happened to her, and he's like, yeah, but I killed Valda because he killed you, and now
Yeah.
you're not dead.
Well, technically, he challenged Valda wrongly, and that's the issue. He's happy. He's glad that Valda's dead because there was other bad stuff, too, but he's going to have to release a statement because he has to correct
he was technically half
he was
wrong.
technically half wrong, and that's the worst kind of wrong.
She was
So-
abused but not killed.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
technically, Valda should still die because of the abuse thing, but
Yeah.
not for the...
But I'm gonna have to
yeah.
release a statement.
Gotta do it.
People have to know.
They need to know. They really do. Okay. Well,
And you know
because
what,
if it gets
Galad?
out that she's alive and he doesn't issue a statement, it's like,
That's
wow.
actually my next point.
Yeah.
Because does Morgaze want an entire statement issued
That she's not
that
dead.
she's not dead?
At this point, probably not.
Yeah.
So...
I guess we have to wait.
I guess we have to wait.
Because I was like, Galad.
Like at some point,
Yeah.
if she goes back to Camelin, though, like
Well,
she's gonna
for
have
sure.
to at some point
But
be
it
like,
shouldn't
I'm
come
here.
from Galad and the White Cloaks.
Right.
It should come from Morgaze.
Right.
Because she's the one
You
in
know
hiding.
what? Here we go. Galad can just do an internal memo only to White Cloaks, and then be
And
like,
it'll never go anywhere.
don't tell anyone else. Keep that
Ever.
within the White Cloaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Good thinking.
Yeah. No, I figured it out.
Okay, so Galad brings up that the children are never enemies of someone who walks in the light.
Totally. Never. Ever.
And Morgaze is like, but what about Perrin?
Yeah. Oh, he's a shadow spawn.
Spawn.
Yeah. No, figure that one out.
Have you seen his eyes? I know he looks like a dude, but
Shadow spawn.
Shadow Spawn.
Yeah. So this is kind of when she gets into the back and forth with him that gets a little bit frustrating just from the standpoint that she's really leading him down the right question paths really well.
Yeah.
He's
She's
just
like,
not
Perrin's
really-
a good man.
Yeah.
And even good men can make mistakes.
Yeah, and they talk about, like, what are we going to do with the army? Like,
The White Cloak Army?
The White Cloak Army, because she's like, what are you going to do with this? And Glad says, well, we're going to go fight the last battle. And she's like, you know what that means at the heart of it?
Yeah.
That means you got to fight with a Dragon Reborn.
And Aes Sedai.
And Aes Sedai,
And
absolutely.
he's like, yeah, we'll serve with the witches for a time.
Yeah.
And she's
It's
like, listen to yourself.
Like, dude, stop calling them witches. Like,
Yeah.
you were there. You trained with them. Like, your sister's literally an Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be doing that. You were going to maybe become a warder because Gawain has the first Prince of the Sword title, but, like, Galad doesn't have that same equivalence.
Mhm.
He might have become a warder
Yep.
in a different universe. But that's where he just kind of keeps...
And then he circles and he's like, yeah, but what about the time that they did wrong by Elaine?
Yes.
Remember that? The tower? Remember how they did that?
Yeah, and it's like, yes, she does remember that. And yeah, that was,
bad.
Pissed her off.
You mean losing her?
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. But there was like dark forces at play here.
Yeah, they sent her out on missions and it was all bad.
They wouldn't let me see her. And okay, so this is the problem I also have. He is correct on a lot of different things here. That was bad that she got sent out and they lied about her whereabouts. And they wouldn't tell him or Gawain about like her whereabouts.
Yes.
Like there was bad stuff going on here. Also, he's talking about how the White Tower is corrupt and their schemes are really getting in the way of things. It's like, yeah, man, you are correct. You're very right.
Totally right.
But like for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
He's right. Or it's just
yeah.
I don't want to give him full points because he's wrong about like half of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, yeah. So then we got to get Morghese back into trying to logic this out with him. So she's like, okay, so with Perrin, do you know what he's going to do with his army? Because he said he's going to give it to Rand basically for the last... Like, this dude does not...
You have literally the same end goal.
We should join forces.
We should join together.
Yeah.
And you should not do this trial.
But here's the thing, and I love this part, because Galad's like, okay, hold on. The trial, I'm not doing it because I want to do it. I'm doing it because Perrin wants. It's his guilty conscience. It's eating him alive. We have to do it for his sake.
Yeah.
It's just...
Okay,
man.
It's this whole crazy back and forth because then Morghese is like, okay, well, remember when you said you were going to execute all the prisoners?
Right.
Remember that?
Lenny's in there.
Lenny was there.
Remember Lenny, like your literal like nursemaid or whatever it's called?
Mm-hmm. And then Galad's like, well, I wouldn't execute her.
Yeah.
I would have saved her. I would have seen her.
Oh, and then he also was like, I wouldn't have executed anyone. That was just a ploy.
It's just a bluff.
Yeah. It's like, dude, like it very much was not.
And then Galad is just getting annoyed with this line of questioning and is like, what is the point of all of this?
So he's doing as much ducking and diving and dipping and dodging.
Deflecting is actually the D word, I would say.
Yeah, I prefer the other 5.
Okay, yeah.
But that's fine. But he's doing that with her.
Mm-hmm.
So good for him.
And Morghese is like, well, I'm just trying to make you think about what you're doing a little bit.
Yeah, just like
think for 1 second of anything that you're saying and doing.
Before we get into this little story time with her too, it's funny because you said you can connect with her views of motherhood with like trying to be a mother to Galad.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks like there were definitely signs as a child because he was always solemn as a child and he was quick to point out when someone did something wrong, but he wouldn't use it against them. But for sure, that's why Elaine hates him so much because he would always be pointing out what she's doing wrong and she for sure hated that.
Yeah.
But then apparently Elaine especially would use those types of things against people.
Yes.
And that also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah. It just...
Well, and plus, Galad wasn't actually her kid. He just, like, came with the deal.
Yeah. And then he's got, like, the black and white worldview, and she's trying to explain to him that there's shades of gray, and
also
more than
other
that
colors.
Too. And other colors. It's not just black and white, but it also makes sense why Galad is so attracted to the ideals of the White Cloaks.
Yeah.
Because it already fits with what he wants it to be.
White. Yeah.
Yeah, and the White Cloaks say, yes, it is black and white. So Galad's like, perfect. I love that. So that makes sense why he's here right now. But then we get the story time.
Do you want the quick version or the Brett version?
Well, I always want the Brett version. It's a good moral. So, okay, so we're going to do my version.
You're going to do the whole thing.
The whole thing. Okay, so she tells a story about she was a new queen, and there was a super important trial that she had to judge herself. So there was a reputable brickmason in Camelin named Tham Falmley.
Okay.
Pick the hardest name in the universe here to say.
Yeah.
He was accused of murdering his brother, and at the end of the trial, he was found guilty and hanged. So Galad says, oh, good, the murderer got what he deserved. And then Morghese says, well, not really.
Gotcha. That's the point of my story.
Yeah, the murderer went free. One of his workers actually did it, and it didn't come
find
out
for 2 years.
Yeah, when he got found for like another murder, and then that guy who did the real murdering was laughing at them for hanging this innocent guy. So Morghese says, should I hang for my mistake in condemning an innocent man? And Galad then says, oh, you did your best, and tries to backpedal for that.
You.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's different when I like the person.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Morghese says, yeah, and an innocent man is still dead. So, like, what...
In your
what
black and white world,
Yes, in your black and white...
I should be condemned
Right.
for hanging an innocent man.
Especially because the children talk about how the light guides and protects everybody, and she's like, that's not how it works. And Valda is literal proof of that you can say the light is guiding you and then do terrible things with it.
Yeah.
So she's not saying that Perrin's innocent or guilty because she doesn't actually know enough information to make that determination, but she wants Galad to understand that a good person can do bad things or something wrong, and sometimes it doesn't actually help to punish them. Sometimes punishment doesn't help anybody, and the best thing to do is let Perrin, in this case, continue to grow and learn. She got the chance to keep learning and growing and being a better queen. So,
yeah,
and it kind of makes sense. I do
good.
get where she's coming from, and Galad is. I'll think about that.
Well, maybe, but we still are having the trial
for sure. I'll think about all this after the trial's done.
Yeah, I definitely have to have it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. For Perrin's sake.
Oh, yeah.
For Perrin's sake.
Yeah, for nobody else's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you were struggling with that name...
Yeah. Famfilmly.
It reminded me, I actually forgot, when I was listening to the chapter...
Yeah.
For some reason, all of a sudden, Niall...
Yeah.
...is pronounced Neil.
Oh.
And I was like... Who is that?
Who's Pedro Neil?
No, and they didn't even say Pedro.
Oh,
it's when Morghese is talking about what happened in the Fortress of the Light.
Okay.
And she remembers her time playing checkers or chess or stones or whatever it is.
Yeah.
With Neil.
And you're like, who the hell is Neil?
And I know Neiled.
Yeah.
The Ashaman.
Yeah.
And I had to go back and be like, huh? And then I clicked, oh, Niall.
Yeah.
But that is one instance of just a pronunciation I've never heard for
That's
sure.
really good. I like that.
And I was like, nope, don't know who that is.
New name in the book.
Yeah. Neil. Should I know who that is?
You should be suspicious of that person. You've never seen him before.
I actually forgot that happened. Oh, man.
Okay. Anyways.
Let's take a quick break.
No.
Oh.
There's one last thing in this before the perspective ends.
Oh.
So they get a messenger, a white cloak comes in and he's like, hey, Perrin's camp is asking for a delay in the trial because if you need more delays for this, there's a disturbance. And the white cloak's like, it's probably some sort of ploy. And Morghese says,
there's a disturbance in his camp. He needs more time.
And it's like, how much time do we need for this damn trial? What are we doing? We are never having this trial.
And Morghese is like, listen, if he needs more time, then he needs it. He's an honest person.
He needs it. We all need more time before the trial. Are we getting a trial? Is it just, are we going to get one?
No.
We're not going to get it.
I doubt it.
Delay.
At this point, I really don't need.
And then it's gonna, look at it's the last battle. I gotta go. We'll do the trial after the last battle. Sorry, guys.
Maybe.
Yeah,
because everyone was like, hey, what do you think's going to happen at the trial?
Yeah.
And I was like, is there even going to be
We're not going to fight. We're not going to have a trial. We're not going to do anything.
Can we move on?
We can move on after a break, and then we'll move on to Perrin. We'll get back to his head.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we're back, and we are going into a Perrin perspective.
Yes, after
the Bubble of Evil.
Yes.
Now, Perrin and Gall are walking together and getting updates on the camp and how things are going.
Yeah.
Since the weapons tried to kill everybody.
Yeah, so it's not great. So we've got thousands injured. Keeping in mind there's lots and lots and lots of people. We got thousands of injuries. Fortunately, most injuries aren't too bad. But we did have some deaths, approximately as many as the snake bite thing.
Okay.
Remember when the poisonous snake and then the Ashman
really,
were sick for a while because they were... Yeah, so it's just one of those things. It's not great, but it's not also... Devastating, exactly. Yeah.
Unless it's someone we know and like, then it's devastating.
Yeah, but as far as we know, it's all good. It's all fine. Yeah. So now we got the channelers who are going around healing everyone.
I want a backstory on everyone who died because of this bubble of evil, and I want to know about their families and everything that is going to be wrong in their lives now that these guys are dead.
Yeah, okay.
Actually,
I'll get on it.
Okay.
I'll start making up stuff.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good.
Whatever. Those guys are dead. Who cares?
Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right. We've also heard back from the White Cloaks. Sort of.
Wait, hold on.
Because they sent the message to be like, we need more time.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Perrin's hammer.
Well, yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're not there yet.
Oh, we're not there. Oh, I thought.
Yeah, we're like almost there.
Oh, I thought you were skipping ahead.
Because Gall and Perrin are doing like a walk and talk.
Okay.
And more like a walk and think because they don't really talk very much.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
Perrin's thinking about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's thought about the fact that they sent the message to the White Cloaks saying, we need more time for the
Okay,
trial.
yeah.
And the White Cloaks were like, maybe. And then Perrin thinks, yeah, well, if they want a trial, they have to wait until I'm ready for it. Otherwise, they can just attack us, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Because we're going to wipe the floor with them. But, like, you just know. More time for the trial.
Yeah. And I think it's important to note that the ultimate goal of Perrin setting this trial was to get more time and to get their prisoners back.
Delay tactic, yeah.
And so, in the end, if we end up fighting anyway, now at least we have our Basil Gill and our Linny back.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So yeah, the other thing that they're thinking and walking and thinking about is that Perrin has sent Tam and Elias to nearby villages to see if the bubble of evil has like spread out or if the villages were affected.
Or if it was contained here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And from what we know, bubble of evils are like, they're pretty localized.
Pretty contained.
Yeah. And we get confirmation that that is what happened. So, but anyways, now we can talk about the hammer thing.
Okay. Not a weapon, I guess.
Is that what you're drawing?
Yeah.
Okay, so Perrin's hammer is the only weapon he knows of so far that did not try to kill anyone.
Come alive and kill anybody.
Exactly. So
and he's like, it's weird because my axe tried to kill me.
Exactly, yeah. So what's your... Is that it's
That's
like
it.
Not a weapon, in quotes?
I guess.
Is that what you're drawing from that?
Yes.
Is that it's kind of like what he's thinking, it's not just for killing?
Yes.
Okay.
But then
Yeah.
I noted that the Aiel spears
Sure.
did come alive.
Right.
And I compared
their whole thing is
their
like,
whole
oh,
thing,
it's not...
we can use a spear because we can use it for other things.
Sure.
Same with the hammer.
Yeah.
Right? And
I mean,
so,
the argument could be made for daggers, too, because daggers are just like knives. Sorry, doggers. Doggers are just knives.
Oh my God, don't say that. That sounds terrible. That can't be how people say it.
I know.
There's no way.
Next time we're in person with someone, we'll have to like hear it in real time.
Like from people who don't live where we live?
Yeah,
you mean?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if I'm face to face with someone who has a better way
who
of pronouncing
says
it.
daggers differently than us?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. And I mean,
because
like,
those can be used for other things too.
Yeah.
Technically, right?
Well,
like.
Yeah.
So what's
and he has used his hammer as a weapon.
Sure.
Maybe it's too heavy.
The hammer's too heavy?
Yeah.
It's not. I can guarantee you it's not too heavy. That's not the issue.
It's heavier than some other things. Maybe it's Thor's hammer.
Nope, not that.
Because that's heavy. Can't pick it up unless you're...
Unless you're what? No,
Chris
I want
Hemsworth.
you to... I want you to finish that.
Unless you're Thor. Right? No? Unless you're worthy of it. Is it a sword in the stone thing?
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Okay.
That's basically what it is. You gotta be worthy. Yeah.
Okay, well, the bubble of evil, not worthy enough to pick up this hammer.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah.
Not Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, okay. I like it.
Okay.
That's good. I can't add anything to
No,
that.
there's nothing. Okay.
Okay.
Tam shows up.
This is really important. Also, this is huge. This is hugely important for timestamp.
Something super unusual just happened.
And he's like, "What? The bubble evil in the villages? No, not that.
Not at all. Who
Something
cares? Nobody even knows.
crazier.
It didn't happen at all. Something crazier. And I was actually thinking about how now we finally had the Morgaze reveal.
Yeah.
And like what that means and things like that. And this means we can finally have a timestamp on Tam getting scooped up by Nynaeve.
Yeah.
And heading back to the Stone of Tyr.
Right now.
Yeah. At the end of the last book that happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Ish.
There were a few events that happened right after that, before the end of the last book.
But it's pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's good for timeline for us. Because now Tam's going to come up and be like, I gotta go.
I can't tell you where, but
it's something
also
to do
like
with Rand.
I'm gonna tell you a little bit.
And then enough for Perrin to go, oh, color swirlies in my head. I see Rand pacing around in the Stone of Tyr.
And then don't care about that. Go away, color swirls.
Yeah.
So he does ask Tam if he wants some people to go with him as an escort.
He's like,
no.
Nope, it involves Aes Sedai. They made me swear not to say anything.
Can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he's like, it's pretty heartfelt too. And I love this little end sequence. Tam's just such a good guy,
Yeah.
Because he puts the hand on Perrin's shoulder and he's like, you're doing a good job, son. I'm proud of you. Your dad would be proud of you. Like, you just keep doing what you're doing. I'll see you at the last battle. It's just, he's so nice. I love him so much.
Yeah. That's nice.
It's so nice.
And then he hurries off.
Yeah, he's got to go get ready to go.
But that also means they've been camped under this statue.
For friggin' ever. That's why Rand was like, oh, I know where he is. Don't worry, you'll find him there.
Because he hasn't moved.
For all eternity.
And this makes sense because when Tam goes, everybody knows that Magdan is Morgaze.
Yeah, there we go. That's it.
That's it. That's what we were waiting for this to happen.
Yes.
Because that's the only thing that makes sense that we needed to line up. Because we couldn't have Tam leave before he finds out.
Yeah.
Because he tells
exactly
Rand. And so I have to redact
Oh.
my previous statement
Okay.
about being irked that we didn't see the Morgaze reveal.
Yeah.
Because turns out we just had to go back in time.
Exactly.
Wait several months.
Yeah. And then do it again.
And then we get to see it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I think I even told Matt Hatch on the Dusty Wheel that I was really mad that we didn't get to see the Morgaze reveal on screen.
Yeah, I think you did.
Page.
I think you did say that.
So I'm glad we got it.
And then, yeah.
And then here we are. And it doesn't really line up with any other timelines.
No.
We don't get to know where anyone else is at any given point.
No, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now we get into the last perspective.
Oh, yeah. Tam hurries off. That's the end there.
Bye, Tam. Go see Rand, who's in a really bad headspace right now, and almost kills you. But then doesn't.
But then doesn't.
And then things get
Tam
great.
saves the world.
You know what? Yeah, I'll accept that.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this perspective.
You love it.
I love half of it.
Which half? Like the demonstration
Yeah.
half?
Yeah.
Okay, not just, you don't like the lead up.
I hate it.
Why?
It is so unnecessary and so dumb.
She has to prove a point to her midwife who's terrorizing her, I tell you.
It's outrageous.
The threat that... Okay.
You know what would have been less crazy?
What?
Brigitte piggybacking her.
That's not in bed. That's getting out of bed.
No, that just means that she... Like, I feel like bed rest means you just can't walk around. Like, you can get out of bed to go to the bathroom.
No, the midwife said... Don't get out of bed, or I'm going to turn everyone in the castle against you. That's what she said, word for word.
So then maybe you don't go to this stupid thing.
No, she has to see the demonstration.
I thought this was going to be, like, a very, very serious, critical, important thing. I thought this was
This is important.
You know what I thought this was maybe going to be?
What? I don't like that you're saying this isn't important. This is...
For Elaine to see in person?
Yes. She needs to see it in person so she can give Aludra all the resources of Andor. How else is she going to get on the same page here with Aludra and Matt to be like, yeah, this is worth it?
I feel like Elaine needs to trust Brigitte a little more.
If someone was like, I invented a laser cannon, and
I would be like, sweet, yes.
Yeah, with no demonstration, you'd be like,
no,
yeah,
but
here's all my money.
I would send my most trusted advisor to go watch it if I was bedridden, or I would just go.
But what if you have a midwife who you just want to stick it to? What about that?
It's ridiculous.
Okay.
This is ridiculous.
This is the thing in the series I do not buy. I don't buy it.
No, I actually don't. This is stupid. I actually had to go back and re-listen because I thought I was listening to it wrong.
Fine. I love it. Go. Continue. Let's do this. Let's get past this part then. Okay, I'll do it. So Elaine has to stay in bed. And so she's going to stay in bed. And all that's going to happen is she's going to get her soldiers to carry her in bed up to the castle wall.
Bed.
Yeah, the whole big four-poster, we're doing
bed,
this.
Not like, she could have like got a little cot or something, or like a palanquin or something.
Yeah.
That like actually makes sense so that people can carry.
Doing the whole thing, just like get up there.
The whole bed.
Yeah. Okay. Brigitte thinks
and she's
hilarious.
under the covers.
Yeah.
Which is the worst part of the whole thing for me.
Is it better if you're out of the covers?
Yes.
Why? Why is that better?
Because then it's like you're lounging. You're just like sitting and hanging out.
You want someone with a big fan and someone feeding her grapes?
When
like,
you're
what do you want
under
here?
the covers, that is just very like, I'm snuggled in bed.
What's
like,
going on under? I would love it if I could be carried, covered, tucked under my blankets and like carried up to work.
It's ridiculous. And Elaine even knows how ridiculous it is.
Yeah, Brigitte thinks it's hilarious though. It's great.
Oh my god. If Brigitte thinks something is hilarious, that means it's stupid.
Yeah. You're just negative.
Yeah.
You're being a negative Nancy.
A little bit.
Hey.
Oh, like the ship.
You're being an exploding Nancy.
Okay.
Because the boat exploded.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Anyways, we get a couple of thoughts about the whole Kyrian takeover thing. Not a ton of important information, but her plan...
Just a recap for us in case we forgot.
She's going to do it. She's going to take the Sun Throne because Ren was like, yo, that's yours. And she's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but then she can't play Days de Mar.
Doesn't want to. Doesn't want to get involved. Yeah, and everyone's being flaccid in their support of her.
They certainly are.
Yeah.
And...
what an interesting choice of words.
I love it.
Yeah.
That one's a good one. I also like how she's like, how am I supposed to take the Sun Throne from bed? And I was like, I don't know. Have someone carry you there?
Oh, how big of a gateway can you make? Okay.
Yeah, obviously we can make a gateway and carry the bed. We should have just done that. We shouldn't have hoisted her up the side of the wall.
Gateways can cut people in half. It's like you're not even paying attention. You cut people in half real quick. You got to be careful where you make gateways.
Should have gatewayed up there if we're going to do anything.
Okay,
this is
you know
all
what?
stupid. But...
we're at the top of the wall now. We did it. We made it here.
So I honestly...
we made it.
This entire scene, I just want to talk about it a little more.
Okay.
This entire scene where she's being hoisted, she's in the bed, probably not in any sort of harness.
Yeah.
Up the side of a castle wall.
Uh-huh. Which is probably pretty thick. Like, I mean, at one point she is like, whoa, I'm really high up here, man.
He could just roll right out of bed.
Right out of bed, yeah. But don't worry, she's safe. Because remember,
of Min's viewing.
And
yeah,
she's like,
exactly.
Don't say that out loud to Brigitte anymore because last time.
That bitch doesn't agree with me.
Yeah. It's like.
And passerbys are witnessing this.
Yeah.
Like just regular common folk.
Yeah.
Walking around, seeing Elaine in a bed being hoisted up the side of the castle.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Okay.
And then she's like, I guess one of those ropes could have snapped. Mm-hmm. That wasn't very smart.
And she's also thinking, I wonder what people think of me when they see me like this.
Like you've lost your mind.
Yeah, maybe.
And then I was like, this better be important. Oh, you interrupted me before.
It is important.
Don't interrupt me. So I thought that this was Egwene sending novices to collect the secret dream terangrials.
Oh.
I was like, what am I expecting from Elaine?
Right.
That's very important that she has to go.
Right.
And I mean, this feels elaborate for that.
Yeah.
It feels elaborate for anything, quite honestly.
Why would you go to the walls? You'd be like, meet them in a throne room or something.
Yeah, but
or a sitting room.
No, because it has to be like secret. It's in secret. But then I was like, you know what's not secret? Being hoisted up.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
man.
so I was like really,
Okay.
I was just trying to think of something.
Okay, can we get to this demonstration?
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah, that's now. That's
okay.
Now. It could have been. It could have been.
First, Aludra's like, are you sick?
You doing okay?
Are you
okay?
well? You are
well, yes.
You are in bed? Up on the wall.
Yes.
With her blankets.
Yes, I am well. I'm
yes.
Fine.
Let's carry on.
Carry on with your demonstration.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are on one tower. Tower A, we'll call it, where there's a prototype and soldiers so that we can see how it works whilst not being close to the real one.
Yeah.
Tower B is way over there with the real one and also with Matt. Because Matt wants to be right beside it.
Of course he does.
To see what's going on.
Absolutely.
He's so interested in the gunpowder and stuff.
I know.
Yeah. It's pretty fantastic.
I hope he has earplugs.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a second. So
ear protection is important, Matt.
Yeah, we do find out that last night there was like a big crack, like a thunder, whatever. Bolt. Clap, that's the word. There you go. Mm-hmm. And then Elaine got a letter from Aludra saying, the first test was a success, so meet me on the city wall today.
And she couldn't have been like...
So here we are.
No?
No, she needs to see this demonstration.
She couldn't have seen it out a window or something?
No. Also, you know what's interesting? Aludra doesn't have her braids in today.
Okay.
Elaine notes it.
Cool. So she couldn't have seen this out a window or something?
No, you can't. Okay, so Ludra's ready to get going with this demonstration, and she explains, okay, so there's a bunch of soldiers that are going to show how the prototype works.
Dressing dummies.
50 dressing dummies.
Do you know what a dressing dummy is?
Like a crash test dummy.
Yeah, mannequin.
Yeah, it's like a dummy.
A dressing dummy.
Yeah.
Is like specifically one that you would like put dresses on.
Yeah, well that makes sense. Oh, yeah.
Like seamstress.
That makes sense. Because like, Elaine's like, where did she get all of them?
Yeah. Yeah, like exactly.
Rated all the mannequins.
I picture like, you know, the mannequins in the store windows.
Yeah.
With their like hands funny, and like some of them don't have heads.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
That's what I was picturing.
And the
50 of
expensive
them.
dresses, for sure, still on there.
Oh, yeah.
So Eludra's done this because we need some sort
And
of
some
realistic...
without
yeah.
clothes, because that's funny, too.
That is funny. Do they all have heads, or are some like
no,
the
I
headless ones?
I just said. You need to listen to when I talk.
I was envisioning.
Yeah.
I was busy
Some
in my
don't
mind.
have heads.
Yeah.
Some don't have arms.
Okay.
You know?
That's fantastic. So this is a realistic display of what the dragons can do, and Elaine thinks, well...
We're going to blow up mannequins.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't think that because she doesn't know what it's going to do. But she's like, instead of 50 mannequins, it's going to be 100,000 Trollocs.
Trollocs.
So, okay, let's do this. So a couple
or,
of...
you know, whoever tries to invade Andor.
Whoever. No, but, you know, she would never...
Mostly probably just Trollocs.
And the Shanshan.
And the Shanshan.
And those damn Terrans. Maybe the Illianners.
Anyone who tries...
Anything.
Anything.
At any point.
At any point.
Where's Perrin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Couple side notes here. Jeez. Okay. Couple side notes. It's best to have 4 soldiers working each dragon, each cannon, because if one guy falls, then you still have 3 left. Technically, one person can run a dragon. It just takes way longer. And right now, we're taking about 3 minutes to reload. To load up and fire, 3 minutes.
That's pretty fast.
It's pretty quick. And
Eludra's like, it needs to be faster.
Exactly. So she's like, this is not very efficient yet. It can be much faster than this. So anyways, Matt has promised Elaine with this whole thing that's happening here that this is going to be worth practically any cost. But then she thinks, oh, he's not the best judge. But then
Matt
berates
would
herself.
say that about anything.
Yeah. Elaine berates herself, though. She's like, well, Matt's not the one who lost some very important Terran girl to the Shadow.
Oh, yeah, that was me, idiot.
Yeah. So she's also created 3 more replicas so far of the Terran girl.
But they all have the same flaws
Exactly.
as the first replica.
Yeah. So here we go. Now it's time. Now it's time for the test.
Okay, but hold on.
It's not time for the test yet.
My favorite part is Elaine has like a little looking glass.
Oh, yeah.
So not only is she sitting in bed
mannequins.
with blankets up to her chest.
Yeah, she has a spyglass.
She's get a spyglass.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to complete the picture.
It's going to be important for the next scene after the first test.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a bunch of mannequins up on the hill over there.
Yeah, so we're looking at the mannequins, but we're also looking at the other tower.
Yeah. Okay.
I imagine it like a paper towel roll.
Paper towel roll. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what she has.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so Eludra gives a signal to the soldiers on the other tower, and then because they've been doing stuff and stuffing the cannon with the gunpowder,
red flag,
all that stuff, and then they touch the burning torch to the side of the dragon, and boom!
Yeah.
We've done it. Huge thunderclap of sound, and then part of the mountainside explodes, and then Elaine's like, "Holy!"
Yeah, because she was like, how is that little ball gonna do anything?
Like
how is this better than a catapult? Like, she's very incredulous.
Well, because she's like, okay, they've told me that they can launch it further, but like a catapult or a trebuchet can launch something way bigger.
Bigger.
Like, not as far, but way bigger.
Yeah.
So what's the point here?
Mm-hmm.
But
and then she's like, oh, that's the point.
I get it. It's like the Aes Sedai are tearing up the ground with the power, but you're not using the power.
Right.
So that's pretty good. Now, Eludra's disappointed because they missed the mannequins on this first shot. But then Elaine starts thinking, okay,
this is artillery.
What if I have the entire wall lined with these things? Like, it doesn't matter if you miss one. Like, you're going to be blowing up everybody.
Trollocs only.
Just Trollocs and Shanshan.
Yeah.
Definitely just those.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then Eludra starts giving the signals. The soldiers reload
What about Matt, who clasps his ears?
Oh, yeah, that's the looking glass. So we look at the mannequins, and then look at Matt.
Elena's like, ha, serves him right.
Yeah.
Like,
he's going deaf again, like a poor guy.
He was blind before, not again. He wasn't deaf. He was.
Oh yeah,
he just had impaired eyesight.
He's probably gone deaf at some point. Dude does not wear hearing protection.
Oh, like when he blew up the side of the Stone of Tear?
Probably.
Hmm.
Okay. Anyways, they start reloading. Takes about 3 minutes to reload, and then they change the position a bit to fire, and they launch it again, and then boom, direct hit on the dummies, and they all go flying everywhere. Smashing these mannequins down.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty great.
It reminds me of The Last Man on Earth when he's like blowtorching the mannequins and like bowling to fish tanks and stuff.
Yeah, what a great show.
That's a good one.
Okay. So yeah, demonstration. I would say is successful.
I would say so too. Totally worth almost your life.
It is
and
worth it.
Embarrassment.
You know why it's worth it? Because this last little sequence, Eludra's like, you like it? And Elaine's like, I love it. You can have all the resources of my entire nation.
Yeah, anything you need.
That's why it's important, because without her seeing it, the visceral feeling of destruction you're not going to get the entire nation on, but like you're not going to convince her to give you anything you want.
Yeah.
And now Eludra has whatever she wants.
The whole bed up the side of the castle wall I just cannot.
You know what we have to do? We have to assassinate Melfane.
No, I disagree.
Gotta take her out of the picture here.
I disagree. However, I think we could have got her to agree to some sort of like...
Can I walk to the wall?
Can I walk to the wall?
Right.
Can Brigida carry me like a baby up to the wall? Because like probably...
Yeah.
Can these 4 guards...
Yeah.
Give me shoulder rides, you know?
Shoulder, yeah.
That would be safer.
What else you got for
so many
methods of transportation?
They can get down on their hands and knees and horsey ride.
Yeah, okay.
Put her on a towel and pull her. Like she's on the towel.
She's on the towel.
Or a blanket.
Yeah.
And you pull it, you know?
That'd be bumpy.
I guess they do have to go up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hammock.
There's options.
Yeah. Up the side of the wall.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
All right.
Okay.
So before the perspective ends.
Did you know that I think that's ridiculous?
I think I got that in. Yeah. Okay. So Lane's like, okay, I need you, Eludra, to swear an oath that you're not gonna
share this with anybody.
No, and we also have to put guards on the Bellfounders because we can't have them selling secrets now because
and Eludra was like, who
nobody
cares?
else can have this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only the Shanshin can't have it, but also
you know what we didn't talk about?
What?
How Brigida's like, oh, cool, that's the stuff that's inside of the fireworks.
Yeah.
And then Eludra's like, how do you know what's inside of the fireworks?
No
That's
reason.
very dangerous to open that.
It's Matt. It's gotta be Matt.
Yeah.
Spent too much time with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's always cutting
or
them
maybe
open.
Brigida also is interested.
Yeah, that's true too.
And has cut them open before.
But it does end on like a kind of a solemn note too, because Elaine can feel Brigida feeling some kind of feelings, right? There's some feelings going around.
What kind of feelings?
Well, she's like, hey, what's wrong? And Brigida says, the world just changed in a very large way.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a terrible feeling, chapter title, that it's only the beginning.
Ooh, I wonder if the dice stopped in Matt's head.
That's a good question.
After Elaine was like,
yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this.
But I mean, it's like it is a game changer.
Yes.
Like these are a game changer to warfare, and that happens whenever there's an introduction of like a new technology that's gonna do massive damage. Like this is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I just listened to a whole podcast about Archer 89. No, 83. I don't know, something in the 80s where the nuclear war almost happened. This whole thing. I listened to it while I was falling asleep. It was pretty interesting, but and I got most of it. But
when you say you got most of it,
it's called Snafu, and it's by Andy Bernard.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's good. The Office.
The Office, yeah. Ed Helms, that's his
name.
Yeah,
it's not Andy Bernard. No. That's good. Okay, all right.
Anyway,
that's
it's good and interesting. I can't tell you, I didn't retain a lot of it, but
I can tell. It
reminds me of nuclear warfare.
Right.
All
right. Now, for the next episode, the next 2 episodes, we are doing one at a time.
Okay.
Because we have the holidays coming up.
Yeah.
But also, we have a planned special guest, which I'm not going to reveal yet.
Okay. For the new year.
For the new year.
First episode of the new year?
First episode of the new year. Special guest. Going to be pretty great.
Okay, cool. And a bonus episode is going to be coming out in place of a regular episode at some point over the holidays. It's
that thing that we said we were going to do.
Yeah.
Because we got to make things happen.
Yeah, we do. And a Q&A coming up. I'm going to be in Winnipeg in a room with Spencer, who is going to join us for our Q&A.
And I may or may not be there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Honestly, we don't need
Honestly, I don't really need I don't need to be there. Yeah. You guys can...
Nah, you'll be there.
You can cover it.
Nah, you'll be there.
Okay.
But okay, so that's sort of our plan to the end of the year, and sounds good. So 1 chapter.
Yep.
We're recording really quick.
Yes. Yep.
In like 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
fun and exciting for me.
You get to read more. But then you're going to not get to read for a while.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's okay. We'll be busy. All right. Well, before you go ahead and get yourself hoisted up the side of a castle wall, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited and produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, Gabby Young, Rycat, Zane Sayaka, Matrix, The Albatross, Bratimus Prime, and Matt Truss, with music by Audionautic. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else, and at the time of recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping people find us. And tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern.